Lewis, last week when I told you that Fox chief Roger Ailes had been accused of sexual harassment, or harassment, as some people like to say, by former Fox anchor Gretchen Carlson, first of all, I said, who's really surprised by the allegations she's making about a total boys club environment at Fox News? But I also said something else, and I want to play that for you now, seeing these settlements.
Or imagine if this turns into a slander case.
Imagine if it turns into a Bill Cosby situation where all of a sudden others come out of the woodwork.
That would be fantastic. I hope that happens.
Well, it is happening. 6 more women have indeed come out of the woodwork alleging that Roger Ailes sexually harassed them. Back in 2014, Gabriel Sherman wrote a biography of Roger Ailes, and he included interviews with 4 women who told him that Roger Ailes used his positions of power either to make unwanted sexual advances or made inappropriate sexual comments in the office. And now, in the days following Gretchen Carlson's lawsuit, more than 12 women have contacted Carlson's attorney, Nancy Erica Smith, and have detailed very specific allegations of sexual harassment by Ailes over a 25-year period dating all the way back to the 1960s when he was a producer on The Mike Douglas Show. The big picture is that Roger Ailes was habitually expecting women to perform sexual favors in exchange for job opportunities. Of the 12 women, 6 agreed to speak with New York Magazine publicly for the first time, 2 on the record. For fear of shame and fear of retribution, spoke off the record. The on-the-record individuals include Kelly Boyle, who says that Ailes propositioned her in 1989, and Marcia Callahan, a former model who says that Ailes harassed her in the late 60s, shortly before she became Richard Nixon's media advisor. Some of the other women span from models and TV producers to media consultants and actresses. What is Ailes doing? Well, first of all, he's trying to make it so that these women can't be part of Gretchen Carlson's lawsuit, and a motion has been filed to take the lawsuit into arbitration. And what that would do, Lewis, is essentially make this a private matter to be arbitrated as opposed to a trial in a public court, and it would put the entire thing behind closed doors. No surprise that Ailes is doing that.
No surprise. None of this is a surprise. The harassment claims, not a surprise. I would really like to start looking at the comments about this from the Fox News fans, particularly.
We know what they're saying, Lewis. It's the normal stuff. David, this is an innocent man in the eyes of the law. He's innocent until proven guilty. He will likely pay his way out of this, by the way, and never be found guilty. Yeah, I get that. But in the eyes of reasonable people who analyze the world in a way that's consistent with what we know, Ailes is exactly the type of person, and the Fox News chief is the exact type of, Fox News is the exact type of organization that would make this completely believable. Oh, but David, you're being a social justice warrior, lefty loon, because you're saying an innocent man is guilty. I'm not saying he's legally guilty. In my opinion, we have to look at what we know, and there may be no proven legal guilt here, but there's no mitigating evidence, right? If all these women came out and said what a great guy Ailes is, you might have, okay, well, wow, all these people are jumping to his defense. Let's consider that. That's not happening. If the women's stories were drastically different, right? Oh, he gave me Quaaludes and then slapped me around before propositioning me. And someone else says, oh, he brought in security. But the stories are all more or less the same idea, that he's using his position of power to imply directly or explicitly or implicitly that sexual favors can be exchanged for positions of jobs or whatever the case may be. Reasonable people would say women over decades that don't know each other. Very similar case to the Bill Cosby story, which, by the way, I get killed on all the time. I'm not talking about legal guilt here.
Yeah, you're entitled to your opinion.
Thank you.
And it's too bad that people didn't speak up sooner about this decades ago.
Yeah.
That's when that was the time. And now, even if there are consequences for him, ultimately, it really doesn't matter.
Can you imagine how different Fox News Channel would look if these charges had been brought against him before the statute of limitations had expired on some of these old cases? Maybe drastically different.
I don't know. Maybe. Impossible to say.